How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray collection update with 6 pickups. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know which one of these is your favorite as well. Leave me those comments down below. And I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Let me know if you did anything fun for Thanksgiving, had family over, or went to go see family, or had a Friendsgiving. Let me know if you watched anything. Usually in years past, I've done a, top Thanksgiving movies. But I feel like there's only like 3, 4, 5 really good ones that are worth mentioning. And the first one, of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in Dutch. And then I would say Blood Rage. It's not cranberry sauce. There's a couple other ones, but those are really the top 3. I just watched Dutch, actually, on Thanksgiving. And, I still like the movie, but it was a lot slower than I remember it being. I'm not going to say dramatically paced, but slower actually fits. Still an entertaining one. And then this one's a classic. However, this is the new 4K release, and you have over an hour of never-before-seen deleted extended scenes. So you have some new special features on here. But I've heard the transfer was not good for this one, so that is very disappointing. This is an all-time classic, directed by John Hughes. Let me know what your favorite John Hughes movie is. He's written a lot of great films, too. Some Kind of Wonderful was always one of my favorites growing up. He also wrote National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, just a ton of great films he's involved in. Breakfast Club is probably going to be my choice, though, for my favorites. But I do think Some Kind of Wonderful is pretty underrated. And Planes, Trains, Automobile, just the chemistry between Steve Martin and John Candy, just kind of the message there, too. All the hijinks, there's so many great moments in here. Let me know what your favorite scene and moment here is. I don't know, when they wake up driving and John Candy's, you see him as the devil character real quick. That scene always cracks me up. But there's so many great scenes, but it's also, kind of heartbreaking and heartwarming too. But all-time classic. I haven't checked this transfer out, the new 4K for it, but I've heard, again, across the board, just terrible reviews, that there's crush, that they really, processed it, and it doesn't look natural. They took some of the film grain out. So that is disappointing to hear, especially for such a classic movie like that. And a lot of older films can really benefit from the 4K treatment. And I heard that it's just disappointing overall for the transfer. So, but there are some, there's the legacy special features, and then you have some new special features in here too. Never before seen deleted extended scenes. So I'm looking forward to checking that out at least. And then the Blu-ray here, let me go ahead and show you. There's a digital copy, of course, and then the Blu-ray is just special features on here, right there. So then you got the 4K with some special features, and then the film. So the film isn't on the Blu-ray. And it's interesting because if you look on the case right there and the slipcover, there's no mention of the Blu-ray at all for the reason, again, that it's the film's not on the Blu-ray. But bummed to hear about the transfer. I don't know if they will re-release this one. I assume they will re-release. They've re-released this one so many times. I feel like was it last year it came out? I don't know when it was either last year or the year before that they came out with a Steelbook edition. I think it was last year actually, but I feel like they're going to do a 4K Steelbook next year. Why not? I mean, maybe they'll do a new transfer. That'll be the big reason to pick it up. But I also picked up a couple Christmas movies. Christmas in Connecticut. It's flawed. It's not perfect, but I think it's a fun time and kind of a look during that time period. I believe it's 1945. I know Bette Davis was originally supposed to play this role, but then Barbara Stanwyck took over. Let me know what your favorite Barbara Stanwyck movie is outside of Double Indemnity. But I really liked Sydney Greenstreet's so awesome. I actually just watched Maltese Falcon, and he's in that role. Gutman, the Fat Man, and he's the Fat Man here too. But he was worked with Bogey before too, Casablanca. But Dennis Morgan's good. The whole cast here is really good. I enjoyed this one. It's a fun one for me. It's about Barbara Stanwyck's character who does like this, column in a magazine where she's like a great cook, but it's all fake. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't live on a farm. She's not married, doesn't have a kid. So all this is like kind of a made up thing. A lot of these personalities have that's made up. And then her boss wants to go to her place, her farm on Christmas, and this war hero as well. So it's kind of like she has to pretend to have all this stuff going on when she doesn't. And it's just craziness ensues. And it's formulaic. You can see that there's a romance aspect here too. But I think it's a fun time. I like these old-timey Christmas movies. Let me know what your favorite old-timey Christmas movie is, outside of like It's a Wonderful Life, because for me that's my favorite Christmas movie of all time. It's the quintessential Christmas movie, inspirational as well. Let me know what your favorite Christmas movie is too. But I feel like, outside of the top ones, people say, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Story, Elf is in there now too. But outside like the main popular ones, but I'm especially looking for like some old-timey ones too. There's some really good ones out there. And again, I love seeing the snowy setting you see in here too, a little bit, the horse-drawn carriages. I just kind of love that time period. But next up, and again, it's not the greatest movie, but I think it's a fun time. So go in there with tempered expectations, but I think you can enjoy it if you like that time period as well. Coming out of like World War II and stuff like that. But again, I found it to be entertaining. And then the uncle right there is so good. His character, so fun. Next up is Last Christmas. I heard a lot of people raving about this one. Has Emilia Clarke in here, Khaleesi, which I really enjoy her, and Henry Golding. I think the cast was great. You have a bunch of other recognizable people in here. Michelle Yeoh, Emma Thompson, again, a couple other people. But the cast is great, but I thought the movie was disappointing. I thought it was incredibly formulaic, predictable. I predicted how it played out. I predicted I was like, oh, let me guess, go into this little hidden park area that he shows her, and let me guess, the bench that they're going to sit on, there's going to be something there, and even to that detail, I was able to predict it, because I feel like if you see a lot of movies, most movies are really formulaic. You can just kind of predict things. People ask me all the time, oh, did you see this before? No, it's just incredibly formulaic and predictable, like most movies are, and if you can think, you can figure it out. And I just thought you could see that coming a mile away. It didn't stand out. She was just really messy as a character, and you can see, the whole redemptive qualities and, coming out, and how it's going to play out. And just certain things that happen along the way. It just leaves your head shaking. For me, again, I heard rave reviews for it, but for me, it was disappointing. Again, I like the acting. I like the actors. They can only do so much with what they have to work with, though. So I just didn't think the script was very good. The way that plays out, it's just, just spoon feeding and just, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. And I don't think I'd want to sit through this again. Although I really like the characters here, the actors rather. Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding were really good. And I think they had good interactions. I don't know. I just definitely wanted more from this one. And I was disappointed in it. I don't know. I can be picky sometimes, but I just thought it was so incredibly predictable and formulaic, and just nothing really stands out for me. I wish I wanted to like this one. I like the actors in here. I just wish it was a better movie. Next up is a guilty pleasure movie of mine, directed by Nancy Meyers, Mel Gibson, Helen Hunt, Judy Greer. I love her as an actress. Although, Jawbreaker. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She was in Wes Craven's Curse, which I love her in that movie. But I feel like she doesn't get the recognition she deserves. I remember seeing some people on here complain about her. I'm a fan. But really good supporting cast in here too. Marissa Tomei, Lauren Holly, Alan Alda, a bunch of Delta Burke's in here. I love the cast in this one. But basically, he's like this ad executive. He's very chauvinistic. And Helen Hunt comes in kind of like as, his boss. He thought he was going to get this new position, but she comes in. She was at another ad executive agency, and she's taken over, and they're trying to get these new clients all dedicated to like females and stuff, and they're trying to get these big companies. And I love the ad at the end. Actually, the ad was like awesome, but this one has some heart too, and I thought it was, it's a rom-com and it's just a fun time. But basically he gets the accident, like I can't remember if he gets like electrocuted, essentially, like falls into the bathtub with the hairdryer, I think it is, and he's able to hear women's thoughts, and he basically utilizes that and manipulates a bunch of different women and people, and to get the ads and get the position and stuff like that, and romance aspects too. But I really enjoyed the heck out of this one. I thought it was a fun time, and again, it's a rom-com. It's silly, goofy, but it does have some heart as well. And I really enjoyed the heck out of it. This was an upgrade for me. I had it on DVD, and I wanted to pick up the Blu-ray and newer release. I like Paramount's releasing a lot of these catalog titles on Blu-ray that never had releases before on the format. Now they just need to maybe fix some of their 4K releases, or well, just really that one. That's the only one that I've heard negative things about from them. Usually they're pretty good, and their Paramount Presents line is amazing. I love what they're doing there. I'm happy that their Paramount Presents line has 4Ks now, and I hope that keeps going strong. The 4Ks that I've seen from them on their Paramount Presents line have been amazing, so very excited for that. But keep the catalog titles coming too. A bunch of really good catalog titles from them. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, The Mexican, just Coneheads, so many really good ones. So definitely happy to pick that one. What women want. Let me know what your favorite rom-com is. I'm really picky when it comes to romance movies and rom-coms and stuff like that. Serendipity is a favorite of mine too. Let me know what your favorite rom-com of all time is, and give me some rom-com recommendations. Next up is Go, which this is from 1999. Doug Liman directed this one, and he directed Edge of Tomorrow, which I absolutely love the heck out of that one. But he's directed some other good ones that I enjoyed too. Born Identity. But this one to me, I remember watching this when I was younger, and I just remember it being a lot more fast-paced than it was. It's basically about a drug deal from different perspectives, different characters, and the cast is crazy in here. Jay Moore, Timothy Olyphant, Sarah Polley, Scott Wolf, Breckin Meyer. Remember Breckin Meyer? I remember Road Trip. He's been in a bunch of other stuff too. But Katie Holmes, William Fichtner. Invasion was a TV show with him in it, which I wish had a second season. I loved that show. But Taye Diggs, a bunch of recognizable people in here. Just the cast was awesome. And it's one that I definitely enjoy. But I just feel like it didn't quite live up to my memory of it. This is out of print, so I paid a little bit more for this one. I want to say it was like $25, but happy to own it on Blu-ray, and I will watch this one again, especially for the nostalgia factor and some crazy wild scenes, definitely over the top. But I just remember it being just a little bit more streamlined, fast-paced than it was. There's times where there's inconsistent pacing. There's some scenes I feel like could have been cut or changed a little bit, but overall, I still enjoy it. It's just interesting how different movies, you watch them when they're younger and you watch them, later, and they're different than how you remember it being. This is definitely a take on it. The soundtrack was awesome here too. But yeah, Go, happy to add it to the collection. And another one, I feel like this happens so often. I'll buy a Blu-ray and then the 4K is announced. I bought Belly. This has been on my wish list for a while to upgrade. I got rid of the DVD. A lot of times, like in the past, I've gotten rid of the DVD, and then I put the Blu-ray on my wish list, Amazon wish list, and so many new things come out, and it gets kind of pushed down my wish list. So I've got a ton of movies, but I also have a ton of movies on my Amazon wish list. So I finally got this one off there. I was like, I've been meaning to get this one. This is one of those movies that I feel like, because of the subject matter, it may not be on some streaming services. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is, though. And I was like, it's time to pick this one up. And then I got it. And then I just heard last night they're going to release this on 4K. So, of course. But I also love these old hollow foil Blu-rays right there with around the border. I dig that. But it's been a while since I've seen this one. Buns, Sincere, I can't remember all the characters' names. But Terrell Hicks from A Bronx Tale. Bronx Tale is one of my all-time top 5 favorite movie for me. But she stunning. But Nas, DMX, T-Boz, Method Man, great cast, directed by Hype Williams, who did a ton of music videos, especially during that time period, kind of revolutionized, hip hop rap videos and stuff like that. Let me know who your favorite rapper of all time is. For me, it's Nas. I was really big into, 90s hip hop, Queensbridge, especially the Queensbridge rappers. Nature, who I think is super underrated. Foxy Brown, Cormega, AZ. So, The Firm. But I don't know. I was really into that growing up. So, I gravitated towards this movie. You see the different paths. This one kind of has some, redemption aspects too, a little bit, especially towards the end message of it. But, drug dealers and stuff like that, the different paths that they go through, and, their different life aspects towards the end. But I am looking forward to revisiting this one. It's been a while. And, I'm probably gonna, if I rewatch it and I enjoy it, I'm probably gonna pick up the 4K, because I do remember really enjoying this one. And just the look, the aesthetic feel for this movie too reminds me of those, music videos of that time period. So looking forward to revisit this one. And, DMX sadly passed away at a young age. But yeah, there we go. Let me know if you've seen any of these and what your favorite Thanksgiving movie is, what your favorite Christmas movie is, your favorite old-timey Christmas movie, your favorite rom-com, your favorite 90s movie, why not? And your favorite rapper. So there we go. And leave me all those comments down below. And I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.